All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Swift Explorers Phase 3, Lesson 2. We are going to get started now with whoever is here. And this session will be recorded. We will put it online. But I have some announcements to make about that as well. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so give me a moment. Let me just share my keynote over here. All right, cool. So you can hopefully see my slides and things like that. Quick recap of the Zoom rules. Please remain muted unless necessary. If you have questions, you know what? Don't ask them in the questions channel. Ask them in the Zoom chat if you're here for this lesson. Okay. I have a request to please be named properly with a name and school. We will take a screenshot of the attendance just to make sure that people are in. Not so much to keep track of every single person individually, but we just want to make sure that no school is falling behind. Okay, so let's say this school is completely missing for like 3 weeks. We're like, we'll be a bit worried about them. Okay, no need to record the session. We'll record for you. Feel free to stay off camera. Don't worry. Okay, so that's simple enough. Quick recap of Phase 3. We are making a prototype of your app, the lesson format. We will drop a pre-recorded video lesson sometime during the week. Okay, and from here on, we will have the live online lesson. That's either Thursday, which happened earlier this week, or Saturday, which is this lesson. Okay, there'll be a hackathon during your September holidays, currently set for Tuesday morning. I hope you can make it. If you can't, well, we'll try and figure out something for you so that you can actually make your little prototype. Okay, the aim is to take whatever you made in Keynote and make it into Swift UI, which means that you'll be trying to adapt some of your things so that they work in Swift UI rather than in Keynote. And in so doing, you'll get a sense of how some of these apps work. Some parts will still be simulated. Okay, so let's say you put in some amazing networking feature, such as oh, I tap on this and it sends a message to all my friends. Well, that's not going to be something we're implementing in the few hours that we have left. Okay, so we'll simulate something like that and just put up a pop-up an alert or something. Okay, so present it at the Apple Store. We are still trying to confirm which store it is. Both of these will take place before the store opens. I believe the stores open at about 11 or so. Okay, so these will both take place before store opening. Rehearsal obviously is before opening. The actual one, we will see what the capacity limits are, because there's going to be like almost 70 to 100 of you. We don't know how many more people we can take in, but we would certainly love for your teachers to be there, or maybe even other folks that you want to invite. We'll see. Okay, no promises on this, but do keep these dates free as far as possible. And I think your teachers are aware of these dates as well. Okay, so quick recap of the resources available to you. Discord is for us to have announcements and links and questions. Those are the three main things. The rest of the stuff like chickens and counting and rickrolling, if you want to ignore them, by all means, you don't have to take part. I know Discord can be a bit much because you can see, wow, a lot of messages. Okay, no need to worry about anything other than those in announcements, links, and if you're curious, you can look at questions to see what questions people are asking. Okay, I do need to ask people to remember to post questions in the questions channel. I think I just scrolled past one question in the general channel. So yeah, please try to put them in the questions channel. And if anyone is replying, right, help create a thread. Okay, a Discord thread is a way that you can have multiple messages pop up underneath a single message. Those of you who use Teams, you are well aware of what this is like. Okay, so this is just to keep things organized so that we can quickly scroll through and see which questions haven't been answered and things like that. All right, so that's Discord. Again, if you want to take part in the rest of the nonsense like chickens and rickrolling and counting, by all means. If you are currently banned from counting, okay, please let me know. I will try and take you out of the Maths remedial role. Okay, so next up is Notion. What we're going to do now is we are going to put up as much stuff as possible inside the Notion, and you can find all the downloadables and links inside there as well, and together with a FAQ. Okay, so for this, let me pause my screen share to switch over to Notion so I can show you what that's like. Give me a moment. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat, all right, and I will help you. Okay, sorry, I muted myself as well while doing that. Okay, anyway, let me just share my, let me just share my entire screen. Hang on. Let me just share my entire desktop. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the Notion that I was referring to. You will see the phase 3 outline. We are currently at Unit 2 live. Okay, and you can see all the things like the video when this is ready will be posted over here. Okay, so do keep an eye out for all these things. We'll update these as we go along. So previously we had all the Unit 1 to 7, but we didn't put in the Unit 5, the live units as well. Okay, so just to keep everyone up to date on this. Okay, so that's the Notion. It's got lesson schedule. It's got downloadables, right? The downloadables are also available in Discord as well. As you can see under links and the lessons, you can see all the stuff that we will be posting. Okay, so just FYI to let you know where everything is. Okay, so any questions so far, right? If not, just a quick reminder once again for those of you who just joined us. Please make sure you have your school name inside your name over here, so that I can, when I take a screenshot later, I know who is from which school. Okay, all right. The reason for that is because technically the requirements for this class, you must watch the video class, right? You must do the work assigned, you must join one of the online classes and attempt the work assigned in the online live class. That takes up maybe, I think, 2 hours a week. Okay, I know some of you will get busy. You have WAs and whatever other assessments you have throughout the year and things like that. Okay, so it's fine if you fall behind, okay, but do try and keep up as best you can. Okay, so my minimum for everyone is to make sure that someone from your group is attending and submitting each week before the September holiday hackathon. Okay, otherwise we will be a bit worried if there are certain schools that we don't know what happened to you. Okay, there's already one school that we have unable to contact. We email the teacher, no response, don't know what's going on. Okay, so we just really want to make sure that everyone, since you made all this effort to get to this point, okay, want to make sure that you are able to reach the September holiday hackathon with enough background knowledge for you to build something and showcase it at the Apple Store. Okay, so that's why, once again, those of you, anyone who just joined, right, please help me out by updating your username with your school, so that I can just, later on I'll just check off and see, hey, which school is missing, what's happening now. Okay, then I can go and like email the teachers and find out if everything is okay. Okay, so just a quick note on this. All right, so don't worry, right? No one is going to chase you down and ask you, hey, why you never attend this one? Hey, why like that? Okay, that's perfectly fine. I just need to get a good sense, of who to spend more time to take care of lah. Okay. All right, so next up, one request I have for you, instead of submitting your gigantic code blocks, okay, I would like to request for you to go to code.tk.sg to paste your code there. So this one, let me just show you what I mean. Okay, so at this point, I also like to kind of review the stuff that's been coming up. So let me go to Swift Explorers 1A, right? This is the stuff that from last week's live session. So last week's live session, I showed you a few more modifiers, asked you to do this like emoji artwork thing. And what that let us have was, it let us, why is it not rolling? It let us do a bit more with our emojis and things like that. Okay, so cool. I see a lot more stuff now. Excellent, thanks. Okay, so this is good stuff, right? My only regret is asking you all to paste your code like that. Okay, because it makes it very hard to scroll. I would much rather just see the different little pieces of all the artwork over here. This is great, by the way. This is mildly terrifying, but great. Okay, and this is very fun too. Okay, so thank you to Regina and Kaveri. I think you're here. I think I see your names. All right, and this is Rian. Okay, good stuff. Right, you can see over here, it's a nice mix of SF symbols and just like plonking things all together and stuff like that. Okay, I like this. It's hilarious. Okay, so my request, however, is when you have code, you can go to this website called code.tk.sg. So I'm going to open up this one, like let's say Rian's over here, and copy this. And on your iPad, you can do this as well. I'm just showing you on the Mac. You can go to this website called code.tk.sg. Just press paste. There's a save button over here. Press it. And that will change the URL. And now if you share this URL, I can see your code. Okay, so the main aim of asking you to submit your code is not so that I can check through and see, this one wrong, ha ha ha. All right, it's really just in case anyone's like, hey, how you do that? How did you get, like these legs to be like that? Okay, or whatever other effects you might see people doing. Okay, so now I can just paste this particular link right inside here. And the next time I ask you to submit, I'm going to ask you to submit the screenshot or a video together with just a link to your code. Okay. All right, everyone hopefully is clear on that. I am going to continue. Okay, so all right, so this next part, right, I just do a quick recap of what we've done. Okay, and I guess one thing is, for these sessions, right, it's a bit easier for me to just show you stuff on my Mac. Okay, so there is Swift Playgrounds on the Mac because I'm presenting from my Mac. It's a bit easier. I'm just going to show you Swift Playgrounds on my Mac. I hope you know the differences, right? It looks very similar, right? I can look at it, it's pretty similar. I'm just going to do a quick recap of what we did, which is the one with all the sound and things like that. Okay, so Swift Explorers Lesson 2 is the one. And I'm just going to open it up and show you real quick. What I asked you all to do was really just to import a couple of these libraries. Okay, so there's this one here called the Subsonic. Okay, and this is one here called Font. I have to say that adding packages is slightly different on the Mac, right? For you, you would tap on the little plus button over here and you will insert a Swift package. Okay, but for me on the Mac, I would do add package, and here I would paste in the package URL. So for example, if I wanted to add the font one, I will type it out, right? I know it often, and I've done it often enough to remember what it is. And when you press enter, it will pop up this thing and you press add to project. Right now, it doesn't let me do that because I've already added it to my project. Okay. What the font one lets me do is I can do custom fonts. Okay. So in the custom fonts, I have things like Papyrus. Okay, pretty nice. I mean, okay lah. I think it's a fairly overused font, but some people might like it. Okay. There's others like Markerfelt. The less ridiculous looking fonts might be things like Avenir and Avenir Next. Right, those are pretty nice fonts. Do watch out, right, for the open bracket and close bracket. You do need that. Okay, you do need the brackets after that because these are mini little functions. You remember functions from Learn to Code. Okay, so that's the font one. And after that, we also asked you to have the sound, right? So over here, we show you how to record sound and play sound. And playing sound is very simple. You just need to import Subsonic. Don't forget to use the import over here. And after that, you can do play with that sound. Okay. So after that, we also show you how to put a button on screen using things that are not just text. This one is a button. There are two sets of curly braces. The first set of curly braces is the code to run, right? The thing to do. And the second set of curly braces is the thing to show. Okay, so inside here, technically this button could be more than just an image, right? It could be a VStack with the image and a text that says play sound. Can. Okay, so technically this entire thing over here is now an image. This is now the button. Okay, so I can tap anywhere on this and it will say hello. Okay, you can't hear it, but my Mac is saying hello to me right now. Okay, so that's one new thing. Okay, this button over here, you can actually compose it out. Right? You know what? You can make the entire box a button. You can do that if you want. Okay, but it might get a little bit complex. The only worry about all of you with Swift Playgrounds is that there's a lot of curly braces, right? So there are some tips to working with curly braces in Swift Playgrounds. All right. You might not have a trackpad, but you can always tap on this little icon over here, and you end up selecting pretty much it'll show you which is the closing curly brace. Okay, so if you do have a trackpad, you can double click on this thing. It will show you the closing curly brace. All right. So those are the things that we asked you to do for last round. Okay, let's pull up some of the submissions for this Swift Explorers 2 and take a look at some of the stuff that people have done. All right. Thanks so much to everyone who has been submitting stuff. This one's from Nicole. Let's just run it real quick. And this is just a chance for us to take a look at what everyone has done and see if there's anything interesting. Okay, so yeah, this is good stuff, right? I like the gradient that goes from blue to white, which kind of gives it a nice little fade out. Okay, if you find that if you want your gradient to go from blue to white, you want to like compress the gradient a little bit, you can actually have it such that dot blue, comma, dot white. That doesn't compress it, that expands it a bit. All right, so you become 1/3 blue, second third also blue, but the third third it will be white. Okay, so you can experiment with things like that. And there are all these different options. Okay, and use the autocomplete to try and see what it's like. And you can, if you're not sure what to enter, if it's obvious like a number, 0 to 200. Okay, if it's not so obvious, you can try pressing a dot. Maybe it'll let you choose some stuff. All right, so thank you, Nicole. Right, this is great. So let's take a look at if there's any others I can take a look at. Right, so here's one from Kaveri. Thank you. Right, so good stuff. Right, I can see this is very nice little, very subtle gradient from one side to another. Okay, and there's an image. There's a little mask where you use there's a sound in the background. Like hopefully that doesn't make it through to the recording, because I'm not sure whether that will get us kicked off YouTube after I try and put up the video, but that should be fine. This one is a mask using SF symbol, okay, that's expanded to size 300. Okay, so that might be something that's interesting for you. So all this is really just keeping in mind your final goal, which is to make some kind of prototype. Okay, make some kind of prototype out of SwiftUI. Okay, so there's a lot more over here, right? If you're interested, you can take a look at all the different stuff that's been submitted. Like I said, I regret asking you all to paste all your code, but now that you have this new method, hopefully it'll make it a bit easier to browse. Okay, so there's some new content that I want to go through for today, right? Not a lot, okay? But I do want to take a look. Okay, tell you what, let me see if I can, let me just try and use my iPad for this, just so that it's a bit more familiar for you, okay? So for this particular thing, I'm going to go back to the tab view. Remember the tab view? Okay, so I'm going to press plus app, create a new app, and I'm going to rename this to Swift Explorers Lesson 2A, I guess, right? So or Swift Explorers Lesson 2A. Okay, so this is just for my own purposes, right? My own naming purposes, all right? And later on, I will share this on the Padlet for this week. Okay, so I'm going to tap on it. And if you remember the tab view in About Me, all right? Remember how to set it up? Let's try setting up the tab view in About Me. So I'm going to actually delete away this VStack. Okay, delete away this VStack. I'm holding down the Shift key and pressing the up arrow to select the text. And I'm going to delete it away. I'm going to make a tab view from scratch. Okay, because in About Me, there's already a tab view for you. And we told you how to add more stuff to the tab view, right? Now I'm going to create a brand new tab view. And you see down here, there is this little tab view over here. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'm going to just create, let's say, just a few tabs. But if you remember About Me, each of our tabs had its own file. You don't actually need to do that. Okay, I'm here to tell you, you don't actually need to do that. You can actually have a tab view of everything on the same page. We don't always recommend this. Sometimes it's nice to have things in different files, but if you're in a hurry, you want to just quickly put something up as a mock-up, you can put it all in one page. Let me show you. So let's say my first page just says text. Hello. Okay, hello. I am YJ. All right. So that's my first tab over here. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing as before, where I make the tab item with the icon. So I'm just going to do dot tab item, open bracket. Okay. And if you autocomplete, right, here's a little tip. If you get these weird looking things with the brackets and the arrows, okay, you can just press enter and it'll become a curly brace, which is closer to what it's supposed to look like. Okay. I'm going to say label, open bracket. And inside here, this will be something like a label with, hang on, my keyboard's my external keyboard's a bit weird. I don't know if it's happening to any of you, right? Every time I press open inverted comma, it will like freeze and I can't do anything. So please pardon that if it happens. Okay, so label, I'm going to say first page, right, comma, and then after that, it does the wrong thing. System image, right? I think there's a system image for 1. You see, it's frozen again. Yeah, okay, all right, 1. Okay, I don't think there's a system image called 1, so I'm going to press plus and just check over here and search for 1. 1. Pretty sure there's a number 1 somewhere. Ah, there you go. 1 dot circle. Okay, that's what I wanted, right? So 1 dot circle. Okay, so that's my first page. Okay, so now I have one entire tab already. And you can imagine how you could have multiple tabs just by creating more of these, correct? One of the major skills I need to have you walk away from this course with is the ability to copy and paste and change things, right? Which sounds ridiculous, right? You're like, isn't this coding? Isn't this like some higher order thinking thing? Nope. A lot of coding, a lot of software engineering out there, professional programmers just admit that they're just really good at copying and pasting. But I guess they must also understand the code that they're copying and pasting lah. Okay, so hopefully you understand this enough that when I copy it, okay, and then I go down here and I paste it, okay, you understand why it shows up with another tab at the bottom. And you also understand that this thing over here, if I change it, right, this is my second page, right? If I change this, you should hopefully understand why it now looks and behaves differently. Okay, so if I tap over here, okay, it will bring up my second page. All right. So this format is actually pretty nice for making a few types of apps. Okay, and we're just trying to cover like, different types of apps that you might be making, like because we've seen all of them, right? They're all like great. There's a whole variety of them that are all slightly different. We're trying to see, how we can cover some of the different views that you're making. This is not so great if you want to just have many tabs and just having people like scroll through, kind of like a story, okay? Or maybe like a walkthrough, right? Like a walkthrough of your app. You know how when you launch some apps, especially those of you on iPhone, they're gonna have a little sheet that pops up on the page, and then you swipe between the sheets before it says, okay, we show you how to use the app. Tap on this button and you're ready to go. Okay. You know what? This different page view reminds me a lot of the iPad home screen. Okay, so you see this thing down here, ignore all my random apps. Okay, this thing down here, this is we call this a page view. So if I swipe, it'll go to the second page view. Okay, so these are all the different apps that these are all the different pages that I have in my app. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to convert this tab view into that, and it's actually very easy. Okay, the main difficulty I feel is finding the right place to attach this modifier. So I'm telling you that if you want to change this tab view into like the swipeable page controller thing that you see at the bottom, here's what you do. You need to add a modifier called .tabViewStyle, and you choose a certain tab view style. Now the question is, where do I put this tab view style? Okay, this modifier should be attached to the tab view. Where does the tab view end? Remember, you put modifiers after your things, right? Like this .tab item is after your text. This .tab item is after your text as well. So where do I put this? I should put it after my tab view, but I don't put it here. Okay, I don't put it here. That's not the end of my tab view. The end of my tab view is down here. Okay, where my cursor is pointing and I'm gesticulating as wildly as I can. Oh, it's got bigger. Okay, and this curly brace is very hard to find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the opening curly brace of tab view. Okay, so I'm going to put my finger, I'm going to tap on this thing. All right, then I'll be like, oh, there it is. Okay, then I can tap right next to here in this blank space. I press enter and I can do .tab view style. Okay, and I press enter for autocomplete. And now I'm going to choose a tab view style. What styles can I choose? This one. More often than not, if you're not sure what to enter, press a dot. Okay, press a dot. And there's two. There's automatic and there's pitch. Okay, so I think we want the pitch. Let's see what that does. There you go. Okay, it now says, hello, I'm YJ with 1 and 2 over here. Okay, so you know what? Actually, we don't need the 1 and 2 lah, right? Let's delete all these lines from 7 to 9. Okay, let's delete this. Delete. Right, shift click, delete. And let's delete this as well. We don't need this tab item anymore. Okay, I mean, you can see the 1 and 2 in there. It's very small. It's a bit silly. Now you just get these highlighted circles, right? One highlighted and one slightly faded. And now, how do I go between them? I can just swipe from right to left, right? Swipe. Okay, so this is a nice little template for you to actually create a simple story. Okay, so here's how you can do that, right? You don't just put everything as single text, right? Maybe you want different text and stuff. Sure. Your first thing can be a VStack. Okay, your first thing over here can be a VStack. Inside here, you could have a text, and this text could say, oh no, I pressed the inverted comma. This text here could say, welcome to Swift Explorers. Okay. And over here, maybe I'll make it a larger font, right? .font, .headline. You know what? Maybe this is a great point for me to go ahead and import the font library again to show you how to do it. So I'm going to tap on this button, right? Tap on the plus document button over here. Choose Swift package. And I'm going to choose this thing that says, type in github.com/JiaChenYi. Okay, Jiachen is my colleague who actually helps me run this. He's actually busy today. He's at VivoCity, right? If you're interested, there is an entire Skills Future exhibition dedicated to Swift at VivoCity. So if you're interested, you can go there and take a look and see what's going on. All right, but I mean, not now lah. Finish the lesson first. Okay, so JiaChenYi/font. So he's actually running one of the workshops, but it's mainly meant for adults lah. But doesn't mean you can't go there and kepo and take a look if you happen to be around the area. Okay, so press enter. github.com/JiaChenYi/font. That will bring in this font library over here. And now I can tap on this add to project. So I tap on add to project and it will bring in the font library. Okay. Does this mean I can use my font library immediately? No. Okay. I can't use my font library yet because I still need to import the library. Okay. So this means the reason why this happens is because every Swift file, it gets compiled into machine code. Okay. And if you import too many things, right? One argument, why don't I just import everything, right? And then just run from there. Then when I'm coding, I don't need to keep importing random things. Well, if you do that, then your executable file, right? The file that gets run on the iPhone will be very big. You import a lot of things. Then it's as though you're going on holiday and you decide to pack about 30 sets of clothes for a 1-week trip. Okay, it'll make life very convenient. You definitely have access to a lot of clothes, right? But then you'll be walking around with a gigantic luggage. Okay, so that's why in Swift UI and in Swift, in many other languages, you have to import the libraries that you want to use. Okay, so I have this font library. I'm going to type in import font. Now I can finally go and change my font. So I'm going to tap on this thing. Let's go bring up my preview again. And over here, instead of just font headline, I can do font custom, open bracket. And I can choose from some nice fonts over here. Okay, let's say American typewriter. And I can also adjust the size. Okay, so and under custom, there is a size colon, let's say 40. Okay, you notice that it is currently left aligned, right? Maybe that's fine for your story, but maybe I want this to be center aligned. Here's another modifier for you, dot multi-line text alignment and dot center. Okay, how do I know about multi-line text alignment modifier? Well, I just go online and Google for SwiftUI center align text. Okay, so that's one way to actually do your things. Okay, so Siam, is it? The GitHub URL should work, right? The GitHub URL should work. If you have any errors, you can take a screenshot, send it over to it's a bit harder for me to debug over Zoom lah. Maybe I can help you after the class, right? But in the meantime, maybe you can send it over to Discord and I can take a look at it afterwards. Okay, so later on, maybe after we're done recording, I could just for example, stop my recording and you can screen share as well. Okay, so yeah, but if any other questions, do keep them coming, right? This is your chance to ask questions live, because otherwise it's just me yelling at the screen and hoping that fingers crossed it goes okay for you. Okay, so now now I have a little story lah, right? I can swipe right, right? Hello, I'm YJ. Okay, so maybe on this second screen, right? Maybe this second screen, I could have a VStack. Okay, and inside here, right, I could have hello, I'm YJ, followed by an image. Okay, so I need to show you again how to import an image, right? Tap over here, tap plus, choose photo. Not sure what sort of images I have. Okay, I have a chicken image, so let's put in a chicken image over here. Okay, so this image asset is called image asset. I'm going to rename it to chicken. Okay, and inside content view, now I can tap on this thing over here to reopen my preview, and I can say image bracket chicken. And if I swipe over to the second screen, you see my chicken is there, but it's very big. So I need to say dot resizable, as always, resizable. And I'm going to say dot scale to fit. Okay, so now, all right, hello, I'm YJ and I'm a chicken. I don't know, this is totally inaccurate. All right, but so you can imagine how you can make your own little narrative or story or things like that based using the tab view. Okay, so it's a bit interesting, right? So we're taking a view that we've used before, the tab view, and we are converting it to something else. Okay, maybe on the next page you can have, instead of just this is my second page, you could have a button, right? Then when you tap on it, you send people to watch your favorite Rick Astley video. So you know what, let's do that. So I'm just going to say VStack over here. Okay, down here. Only problem with this coding this is that it's a bit hard to preview your subsequent pages, because every time you make a change, it will send you back to the front page. Okay, so what I like to do sometimes is the page that I'm working on, I move it to become the first tab. All right, I move it to here. I put it at the top first. Okay, then, all right, then, oh wait, there's an error. I pasted this twice. Okay, then when I'm done, I move it back to the bottom. Okay, so it's a little bit troublesome, right? Just by the nature of Swift Playgrounds, right? But that's okay. Okay, so I enjoy music, and then here is a great music video. Okay, then for this great music video, what I'm going to do is I am going to let's say let's see, I have hang on, where is my Rick? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this to clipboard. Okay, and I'm going to go over here. And do you remember this thing called Markdown? I think I mentioned it in the phase 2 videos. I can't be sure, right? But never mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this markup language called Markdown, right? With these square brackets over here. I'm going to put an open bracket, close bracket over here, and I'm going to press paste. Okay, so I'm actually pasting a link from my Mac onto the iPad. It's called this universal clipboard. Okay, so what it does is now what happens is that this thing, this word great music video becomes a link. Then when people tap on it, they open a great music video, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't think I'll do it on camera. Okay, but there you go. Okay, I enjoy music. Here is a great music video. Okay, just a quick recap of things like Markdown. Okay, so if you want to do bold text, right? Bold text is asterisk asterisk and asterisk asterisk, because it's a little bit like Discord, right? Or WhatsApp. Okay, if you want italics, you can do single asterisk. Okay, it's a little bit like WhatsApp and Discord, but I think WhatsApp does it a bit differently. If I'm not wrong, asterisk and underscore show different things on WhatsApp. You can still use underscore, right? But it's the same as asterisk. Okay, so but double asterisk means bold, single asterisk means italics. Okay, it's not updating right now, so I'm going to press the run button. The run button will preview it as a full screen app. Okay, so you can see over here, I enjoy music. Here is a great music video. Okay, so that's one of the things that I wanted to show you in this round. Again, how to exit from this, tap on this button over here and press stop, and you'll go back. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is that so far I've been asking you all to actually work in this app review, take screenshots of this. You might actually, for your final project, I think there's a good chance that we would prefer that you do everything in iPad mode. So either a landscape iPad or a portrait iPad. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're not going to preview it on a phone. And I think when you present, it doesn't really make sense for you to have a whole bunch of code on the left and present it on the right. I don't think that's what we want. Okay, so keep that in mind, because I think you do need to have things look good on the iPad. Okay, all right, so just a quick recap of what we've done. We've done tab view. Okay, we imported font library. We've done, we try out some fonts. Okay, there's American Typewriter. Maybe if you want to try other fonts, sure. Let me just show you a couple other fonts, right? Dot font, okay, dot custom, bracket, dot. And then some of the nicer looking fonts I know of, Arial, of course, you know about, right? Arial is the one that comes with Office. Avenir looks pretty good, right? I do think Avenir is a pretty nice font. Okay, let's change the size to about 30 or 40. Okay, what other fonts are interesting? Right, there's, of course, I think there's Times, right? There's Times New Roman. Okay, if you like Times New Roman, if you haven't gotten sick of it from using Office, yeah, I think there's a whole bunch of decent fonts, and some of you have found some of the nice signature looking fonts. This one is Baskerville, and I think there was one which I saw in someone's submission, which was a very nice cursive script. Cochin? Okay, no, alrighty. So there's some pretty nice fonts, right? And if you want to see them, I think the best way to look at them is in Keynote. There's also a website called iosfonts.com, but it's not very up to date. Only kept up to date to iOS 9 or 10. Okay, so yeah, you can take a look at some of this. Futura is a very standard font, but it looks pretty good. Okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of the content. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay, anyone have any questions? Oh, library symbols, is that so Chris, you're asking me to try that out, right? So sure. Also my keyboard has stopped working on my iPad, so that's fantastic. Let's let me see if I can get it working again. Okay, my iPad stopped responding, so I think this is okay, it worked. Okay, so let's go try dot library. Okay, no, all right. Okay, so okay, I'm going to do a quick screenshot of the participant list, right? If you can, everyone can just take a moment to update your username with your school name, right? I think you can just press the more button next to you and rename. Okay, then I can take a quick screenshot of that. Okay, so beyond that, let me go and prepare a little quiz that I have. All right. Just to test everyone's knowledge a bit. I cannot guarantee we'll give you prizes for it or anything, but at least it's good for us to just just know where you're standing in terms of the concepts. Okay. All right, give me a moment. Let me go set up the quiz real quick. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the chat. Yeah. Okay. And yep. Okay, let's do our quiz. Let me I have it in a separate window, so I'm just going to let me just go start the quiz. Wait, no, is this the right quiz? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna pull in the quiz over here and let's get started. Yeah. Okay, so completely optional, right? Just join me for a quick quiz. Test your understanding. I'll take note of the winners. Maybe I'll give points or something. We'll see how that works. Okay. I'm not sharing the sound to not get us in trouble when we actually go post this on YouTube. Okay, so the game pin is 3687869. Right, please join, and I'll give everyone maybe 30 seconds to join. I think that should be enough time. See all of you from different schools, right? Feel free to feel free to chat and get to know one another in the Discord. I'm not sure how many of you I've actually met in person at the showcase. Please say hi if you see me in your school or something like that. I do head over to some schools every now and then, but I will hopefully see you in September at the rehearsal, okay, and the actual events at September hackathon, right? October actual events. Okay, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so packages, fonts, and sounds. That's what we're doing for this week. Okay. Okay, what are the steps to importing a Swift package in the right order? You saw me do this, I think. Okay, this is on Swift Playgrounds on iPad. You saw me do this. So what are the different steps? This is the type of a quiz question where you need to move up and swipe up and down. That's a great emoji, Farhan. Right, good stuff. Okay, come. When you're done, just tap on in and we will move on to the next question. Okay, so not many of you got it right. You need to first expand the sidebar, click on the document icon, select Swift package, right? The thing that it drops down and asks you, do you want to create a new photo or Swift file, right? Then you enter the package URL. Okay, no worries. This one is not as though, like this is an essential life skill, but good job to Farhan, Kaveri, and Regina who got it right. What is missing in this code snippet to add a custom font? Okay, is it the font name, the font weight, the font's PostScript name, and import font? Okay, it's the word import font. Okay, there's no import font. I made the same, I mentioned this just now, right? You have to import it before you can use it. PostScript name is the actual name of the font that shows up in your system, right? If you install it on a Mac or Windows, it'll show up as a certain font name, but we don't need to do it, right? With this library, you just do dot something and then you go and browse for it, okay? All right, Farhan is still on top, well done. Okay, let's keep going. What view can we use to achieve different pages? Okay, which is pretty much just what we just did now. Page view, tab view, text, or navigation view. Right, these are all actual views. Okay, you've seen text, you've seen tab view. Okay, I like the page view is not an actual view. Okay, so yeah, navigation view is an actual view, but there's no such thing as page view. To get a page thing, you use tab view with a modifier. Okay, all right, next. All right, good job. Let's keep going. Which of the following have we imported so far into our projects, right? Have we imported SwiftUI? Have we imported Foundation? Have we imported Supersonic? And have we imported... No, we have not imported illegal goods. Please don't choose the answer. All right. Hey, that's right. We've only imported SwiftUI. Okay, we've only ever done import SwiftUI. It's not supersonic, it's subsonic. Okay, sorry to scam you all. Foundation is an actual library, but we don't need to import it. It's imported by default, right? So SwiftUI itself imports Foundation, so we don't need to import that. Okay. Some of you might have seen it before, somewhere, maybe. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Multi-select. Which of these fonts are available on your iPad? Okay, Papyrus. Okay, so Papyrus, you saw an example, right? I'm not a big fan. People say it's overused. All right, yeah, it doesn't look great, but you know, maybe there's a good reason for using it. Okay, all right. There's no Comic Sans. There's no Comic Sans. Okay, the closest is probably Chalkboard. Yeah, Chalkboard, I think, is the closest like kiddish font that you can find. Okay, so Arial you saw just now, Times New Roman you saw me use just now. Okay, oof. All right. Farhan still all the way up there. How many fonts should you use in an app? This one's a bit interesting. I think I briefly mentioned in the video, maybe, but you know, yeah. So think through, right? So yeah, as many as necessary, right, is our recommended answer. Okay, not necessarily one. Okay, it's sometimes you might need to use more than one. Okay, maybe there are certain parts of your app that's meant for kids, like or meant to look like handwriting. Okay, a variety, I wouldn't recommend that. All right, just maybe it's a better answer would be as many as necessary lah. Oh, as many as possible. Nobody shows that. Thank you. Right, because that's silly. Okay. All right. Wow, Farhan, unstoppable. Okay. What is the name of the main default screen in the SwiftUI app? Okay, so it's a bit tricky. There's one screen that pops up, right? There's a name for it. Okay, in the file list. Do you remember what that name is? Okay, this is just to see whether you have noticed this all this time. Okay, it's got content view. Okay, home view or something in the About Me app. So that's not quite the main view. Okay, it's called content view. All right, so these are our winners. I'll take a screenshot and maybe well, only 3 out of 7. Okay, but well done to Tian Yun. Okay, 3 out of 7 also. Well done to Natalie. And congrats to Farhan, right? Who is still all the way up there. Congrats, man. Good stuff. Okay, so well done to everyone who took part. Okay, last thing to mention to you, okay, is how to submit, right, all this stuff. All right, so I'll do a quick demo of submitting this. I'm going to select all, right, just going to tap on the screen and choose select all and press copy. For this one, I would like you to record a screen recording of this, like a demo. Okay, I don't think I can record a screen recording of this right now, unfortunately. Okay, because I am projecting onto my screen, so I can't record screen recording. So for me, I will just take a screenshot. Okay, for me lah. For you, you should record a screen recording to demo what it is. But for me, I'll just take a screenshot. Okay, I'll trim it down to just my actual app over here. Okay, screen recording can also be trimmed to a certain size, so you can feel free to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna press done, save to photos. Then I'm going to go to the Padlet URL. All right, so Padlet URL. Padlet URL is padlet.tk.sg/Swift Explorers 2A. Right, our naming convention, very easy to guess. Okay. Oh, thanks to everyone who submitted so far. Great. So I'm going to press plus over here. Okay. I am going to upload my thing from my library. Okay, upload from photo library, which is this thing over here. Okay, press use. Okay, now this is the part where I want to copy and paste my code, right? So I'm going to go to a brand new site. Okay, go to code.tk.sg, paste in my code. Okay, press paste. Press this diskette icon over here. Press. Okay, then my URL will have changed. I'm going to copy this URL. Okay, and go over to here and paste it over here. All right, so then this is YJ from Tinkercademy. This is the Saturday demo. All right, you can take a look at my Thursday demo if you. Okay, so that's the general idea, right? That's the general idea. I would like your help to upload something, right, to show what you've done for today lah. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Yes, please do not use a new font every single letter, right? That unless you're making a ransom note app or something, I don't know. Okay. All right, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to stay back and ask any questions, you know, share your screen and stuff, please feel free. I'm gonna stop the recording now, and I will see you next time. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.